Coming to you live from downtown Toronto, here she is, Marylin Dennis.
See a couple of men in the audience too. That's good because we're talking about parenting today. Don't sit down because we've got three fantastic women coming. First up, it's Parenting Pulse. We want to chat about the issues that you and your friends are talking about, and there's these family issues that we have sometimes, and who better to help us out? So we invited some of our favorite experts who are moms. Please welcome MacArthur, Dr. Melissa Hershberg, and Alyson Schafer. Nice to see you. Hello there. Okay, everybody sit down. Let's talk. Okay. First review. Alyson, once again, you have two children.
I sure do. Two teenage daughters.
And they are how old?
18 and 19.
Okay, and Melissa's new mom?
Yes, 12-week-old Rebecca.
Okay, Rebecca. Aww. And you're also a doctor?
Yes.
So did you think you knew everything that you needed to know?
No, I wasn't that confident. No.
And Amber, you've got a 4-year-old?
Yes, my son just turned 4 years old, and I can't believe that you're awake, by the way.
I'm half awake.
You half awake? Okay, here we go. So we're going to talk about, I want to let everyone know that if you want to be a part of this, you can tweet us at The Marylin Show, #MarylynLive, and join in our conversation. We'd love to hear from you for sure. Nancy from Victoria, BC sent us this email about co-sleeping. Oh, yeah, see? Yes. You're going, Okay, so my husband and I can't agree on co-sleeping with my 3-year-old son. He has slept in our bed since he was born, at first because I was afraid of SIDS. And my husband thinks we are creating a monster by not allowing him to sleep in his own crib. I think it's better for our son to sleep with us because he's getting a good night's sleep instead of spending half the night screaming. So to that end, I think, okay, I heard this. So how does everybody feel about this? So Melissa?
As a new mom, I can say that you'll do absolutely anything to prevent your child from spending half the night screaming. And, attachment parenting is a big thing these days, and they do talk about co-sleeping. However, if you can avoid it, I think it's best to have the kid in a separate room because, first of all, how are you going to make baby number 2?
Yeah.
Notice, though, that they said my husband and I disagree on this matter, so...
Yeah, I would guess that the husband's probably the one that's not as into co-sleeping.
I don't think...
There are other ways in the home, though,
Yeah.
to make another baby. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay.
No, I think there's a lot of
What are you saying? Wait, I heard that. Okay.
Well, seriously, I still sleep with my son in the bed, so it's my husband, my son, and myself. We all sleep in the same bed. He just turned 4, and the best advice I was ever given is that the best sleeping arrangement is the one where the most people in the family get the most amount of sleep. I have no fear that my son's going to eventually go into his own room. He has his own room, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the main breadwinner in the home. I started working right away after having him, and I needed to get sleep, and that's just the way it worked out for us. So in many ways, we're waiting for him when he's ready to move into his own room, and I know he's not going to be 15 sleeping in our bed, people. It's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I think
My son's 25 and he just moved back to the house, so I don't know.
you've got a 4-year-old.
I'm just saying, you don't know.
Just one. I think for a lot of parents that have more than one, like most, a lot of parents have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old and a newborn. Then it becomes hard to have this big, huge family bed. You need like that ultra massive king size bed. But I hear what you're saying. You need to get sleep, and that's
part of the
critical
issue,
for so many
right?
people.
Yeah.
And that is good.
But that's what worries me, though, is that we're saying we need to get sleep, and so therefore we're going to take the easier route, where I still think that we need to say, you know what, part of life is you need to learn to self-soothe, you need to put yourself to sleep, and so taking the shortcut, taking the easy way, that's maybe fine at 12 weeks, but I think kids need to learn how to sleep independently. You need to be able to send them off to sleepovers and to camp, and they need to figure it out.
It sounds to me, before we read some of the tweets that you got there, that this 3-year-old's the one that's getting the most sleep.
The 3-year-old's really good. Yeah.
Roll. So what do you have there?
All right, okay, so we have a couple of tweets from people who have sent them in. The first one is from Loco Sportswear, and this one says, "It's okay at times, but kids have to learn to sleep independently, and parents need a restful night." So that's one piece of feedback. I know a lot of people feel that way. We have another one from Marissa Martins, who says, "Yes, so that I can get some sleep as well." So basically saying that co-sleeping is okay. So she's okay with close sleeping because, to my point, she wants to be able to get some sleep, and that's the best way that it works. So a couple of different opinions on Twitter.
But when you tell people that, not that you would come out randomly telling people that, although you did on a national talk show. I mean, do you find yourself being defensive about it a lot?
No, you know what? I think the way that I parent along with my husband is that we make choices that are right for our family. We have a very, atypical family arrangement because we're both entrepreneurs, and so we just figure it out something that works for our family. And I think people need to make choices like that. Don't feel pressure by outside environmental pressures. You need to do something that's right for you, and that's the way we always parent. And so far, so good. We have a great kid.
Well, there you go. Various opinions right there. Amanda sent us this email about gender-based toy marketing. My husband and I have a 2.5-year-old daughter. We are trying to raise her without the influence of gender stereotypes, but this is proving to be a difficult task. See if you agree with her. It seems that every kid toy or item out there has been pinked, or worse yet, princessified. I feel that these princess images send the message that girls should aspire to be unrealistically pretty and skinny. So should parents be wary of exposing their daughters to too much pink or princess? And that's a good question. I've heard this question before many years ago, and things haven't changed, marketing being what it is. Alyson, your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the princess argument is a little bit different than just the color coding.
Yeah.
Because the bigger issue for me is if you want to make something pink or purple so that it's identified with being female, does that necessarily mean that it's somehow lesser? Like, there are two genders. There are boys and girls. The question is, does it suddenly become, it's like a bad thing to be a girl, or you're like simple if you're a princess? So it's the idea of being inferior, or somehow it's less than if you're female. If we just said like, oh boy, look, there's apples and there's, tomatoes, or we would just say vive la différence. I just don't like the idea that we're somehow saying that, oh, well, if we start identifying with girly things, that it's somehow
a bad thing.
It's a negative thing.
However, I think they're also producing what kids want. I can't tell you how many little girls you see, what do you want to be for Halloween? A princess. Like, girls love dressing up and that stuff, and so the market probably is just showing those toys. But, gender is learned behavior a lot of the time. But I think it's interesting that you've got this word for, girls that like to play with, balls and trains. They're, tomboys. But you don't really have that same word for a boy that likes to play with the princess stuff. I mean, is there?
I played with a train when I was a kid. My dad bought me a train for him. Right. He said it's for me. But I don't consider myself a tomboy either. Right. It's just that I like seeing the train going around the tree. I like seeing the train going underneath the sofa and then going underneath my sister's bed when she doesn't
I had
expect
three older brothers, and my father really wanted me to sit and play with a tea set, and I would have nothing to do with it because I wanted to play with what the boys were doing. And my grandmother had a science degree, and the whole house was full of science experiments.
Okay? Whereas if it was your brother wanting to play with the princess stuff or dress up, that wasn't as okay?
I would say society has a harder time with that, and they will show you that in kindergarten studies, it's the other boys that will take the boy and say, don't play in the kitchen. It's not the parents doing the socializing, it's the peer group.
Well, the good news is that I just saw a microscope recently that was pink, so I think it's good that there are more options out there.
Good.
So that's fun, right? Encouraging girls to go into science.
We need a pink.
Why not? I'm wearing pink and I'm an adult. Love it.
What do you have for
Okay, so we have a tweet here about this topic from Bernie B, who says, I don't think it will work. I think the toy business is excellent, as the child will choose themselves what they're into. So I think basically saying that the kid will choose what they want to be into, and it will be their choice at the end of the day, and it's not about the toy company. So that makes perfect sense.
And there's non-gendered, these eco toys.
Sure.
There's all kinds of other options if you look for them. I was actually just at the art gallery on the weekend. They had all kinds of great, cool stuff that was neither pink nor blue.
Right. Okay, down the table we go. Okay, what's the best parenting advice that you ever got?
Oh man!
See, I'm not telling you everything we're talking about.
The best parenting advice? Get over it.
Really? In what way? Tell why.
No, because I think I thought everything was so important. Like, really.
Especially with the first one.
Right. Yeah. In the early years, I thought everything was so important. And when I kind of realized, like, get over it is like, you've got so many more big things coming down the road that you're going to have to worry about. So, I had to just kind of back off and get over it. And that's why I got busy.
Right.
I purposely put myself back to school so that I wouldn't just do this to my kids. I had to force myself.
Are you saying that you were a helicopter parent to a point?
Well, no, because I knew about parent education, and I thought I will keep parent educating my kids unless you distract me. So I put myself.
So there's a parent educator, and then there's mom.
Yeah, right.
So you had to make that division, right? You had to decide who you were going to be.
Yeah, I had to get out of the house, or else I would have hyper-parented. That's all I can say.
You're new at parenting.
Yes. So, two things. One thing would be, despite what you read in all the books or on the internet, do what's right for your family and your child. So there's no right or wrong. There's a lot of gray in parenting. And the other piece of advice I got that was really good was do one thing a day, at least one thing a day, just for you.
Yes,
That
I like
was
that
huge,
idea.
you know,
I like
because
that
it's-
idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so mine's pretty simple. The best parenting advice I ever got was get up in the morning and shower. And I know that's a really simple thing, but you do feel better if you get off on the right foot, right? It's a very simple thing.
With one foot out of the shower,
That's right.
rocking
Okay,
the car
listen.
seat, or the.
Do you know the one that I got? I got this. Sleep when the baby sleeps. The
Yes.
laundry will get done.
But did you?
Yes. Not at first. No, I'll be honest with you. I thought, oh, whatever. And I thought, and I'd see the house was, to me, a mess. To me, a mess, right? Because I'm used to being working all the time. So the house got, like, the townhouse was like doing this to me. So then when Adam was sleeping, I was getting things done. And when he woke up, I was exhausted. I thought, okay, when am I going to sleep? So I'd start to sleep. When he was sleeping, I thought, you know what? I can do this and fold laundry at the same time. I can do that. Tweets.
Yeah, so we have a tweet here about best parenting advice. This one's from Blair Hood, who says, best parenting advice has been to follow your instincts and learn as you go. It's okay to make mistakes.
It
And I think
is.
that
I
is
agree.
Very good advice. Also, when it comes to toilet training, this is from Barb the Jam. Says, don't fret and stress. Your child will not walk up the aisle in diapers. So chill out. And that's great advice.
And then to that point, I will say the best time I think to potty train a kid, summer.
Summer. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Summer.
can just run around.
Let it all hang out. Okay. After the break, we're going to find out what things our parenting experts couldn't live without. We'll be right back. All right.